Hey, so are you an Xbox Series X or Xbox Series S owner? Well, if you answered yes and you like free stuff, you're going to want to stick around and check out this video. It should be a pretty good one, as Microsoft is giving away some free stuff to kind of commemorate some things that are kind of coming out, which I think a lot of you will probably be interested in. Maybe some of you won't. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But, at the end of the day, I know that a lot of you guys like when I do the free stuff videos. Some people aren't aware. I understand how that goes because not everybody is like keyed into some of this stuff, and then some people ended up missing out, which is always kind of a bummer at the end of the day. But your good old crap gamer here going to make sure that you guys get plenty of stuff to watch and understand that you can collect this stuff at any time. I always was doing this even when it wasn't free stuff, but I can remember when games with gold was still popular, and I had a bunch of friends, and I was like, man, did you guys download Sunset Overdrive? And people were like, Sunset Overdrive, it's like they didn't think it was a big deal or whatever. But we'll see what happens. I'm always open to see kind of how these things go or whatever, but I want to get into it. What's up, everyone? I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Certainly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I do daily gaming content, so if you guys are looking for content that is every day about video games, I definitely am the guy there. Which again, I certainly appreciate it. I try to be fun yet informative, so that's something that I do every single day. And if that's something that you guys are into, hey, I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching it. It's awesome. So with that being said, we kind of look at some of the things that are going on with like the free stuff or whatever. And again, I'll link this. Gears of War Reloaded is adding 8 free Xbox gamer picks, which is really cool. You can use them to snazz up your profile. Some of the images are a real sense of nostalgia, which I'm going to link this. You guys can check it out. If you're a Gears of War fan, you're probably playing Reloaded or whatever the case may be, or Reloaded as the case may be. But yeah, it's very interesting. To celebrate the game's recent release, Gears of War Reloaded has added 8 free Xbox gamer picks for you to customize your profiles with. These include fan favorite characters from the series as well as the game's iconic logo. So Gears of War landed on Xbox X and S. What's even more excited about the game's release is that it marks the first time that Gears of War has appeared on PlayStation. I don't think that's personally exciting, in my opinion. And listen, if people wanted to play Gears of War, they could have played it on Xbox 360, Xbox One. They could have played it on PC. There's a lot of different ways they could have played it if they really want to. So I'm not one of these people that are really buys into this whole, so every game should be on everything. I think that's stupid. Again, like the game, not to get into the game, but anyway, to commemorate the big release, Xbox has added 8 new gamer picks that you can use to spruce up your profile for free. The new gamer picks include Marcus Phoenix, Anya Stroud, Damon Baird, Anthony Carmine, Augustus Coltrane, Dominic Santiago, Ram, the High General of the Locust, and the legendary Gears of War logo. The later gamer pick is very nostalgia filled, as it brings back many happy memories of the early days on the Xbox 360. The number of players I would stumble upon on Xbox Live who had this profile pick was pretty frequent. It was seemingly everywhere. In fact, I think I have the Crimson Omen myself. That's my tattoo, anyway, that I have on my right forearm. From my understanding, you can unlock the gamer book as a reward for earning the Seriously achievement in the Gears of War game. The achievement in particular is notorious and very hard for being an absolute time consuming, requiring to kill over 10,000 players in ranked online matches. So if you manage to unlock the gamer pick, you could wear it in a well-deserved badge of honor. So to make this kind of clear, back then with Gears of War 1 was out, like there wasn't team deathmatch or anything, so it was like the most games, I think the most I would get at a time, depending on different circumstances, 8 to 10 kills per match. So you really can kind of understand how difficult it was to get that. This time around, you can bypass all that and just use it from the get-go, thanks to these free gamer picks. It's really cool to see that that's happening, that Gears is getting some love again. People have asked me what kind of my thought process is on the Gears of War games, these ones anyway. I listen, I love the games. I think the first three games are simply amazing, but I just don't think in this day and age of Fortnite and Apex Legends and all that kind of stuff, I don't feel like this game holds up incredibly well. I think that people are going to be curious a little bit at first or whatever the case may be, but I just think that the game itself plays kind of slow. And so I don't really see a lot of people like rushing out and sticking with this game long term. I think it's going to do well, right away for a month or two, and then you're just going to see people kind of just leave it by the wayside, especially the multiplayer, because again, like I've mentioned before, the multiplayer is something that is like, people aren't going to be super amped to go out there and like I think the roadie run, all that kind of stuff is just stuff that's realistically not fun to do anymore. It's like not a modern thing. It's the same thing with like Halo. People ask me what my kind of opinion is on Halo, and I always kind of point out that like I think Halo's a good game, but I also think that Halo is something that is a product of the past, and now like not having aim down the sights or sprint or having to click a button in the sprint, like that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And so I can understand why people are like, oh well, Halo is a little bit too old school or whatever the case may be. So I still think that it's a interesting kind of time, an interesting situation that we find ourselves in, but like I've mentioned numerous times before, Halo is like, I think, long in the tooth as well. I don't think we'll ever get back to that point that we were as like back in the day. Like Halo 3 was insane because there was nothing else like it, and we kind of were like, oh okay, this is awesome. But then if you go back and play like the original, like go back and play Halo 3, like even if you have amazing memories of that game, the no sprint, the characters are so slow, and like no aiming down the sights, it's like not exactly a fun experience, especially if you're into like the newer type of games like what we have right now. So yeah, it's kind of easy to kind of understand how we kind of get where we are with some of these things, but I'm sure a lot of you guys have different opinions and different takes on this stuff, and I'm curious to hear all of them. Like just in general, how do you guys feel about all the stuff that's going on? It's super interesting to me, and I'm sure you guys all have like a lot of different interesting takes and things like that yourselves, which you can let me know down below if you guys want to. But again, for me anyway, seeing that these gamer picks, there's also an Xbox Gears of War dynamic background that you can pick up for free. Really cool time and timing to get that. I love Gears of War. I think Microsoft themselves realized they went too political and they went too far to the other side with Gears of War 4 and 5. Like 4 is boring, it's not terrible. 5 is just kind of terrible. Like I'm like the biggest Gears fan, and I've never even finished that game yet. It's just like a slog to get there. It's like it's not fun. They tried to incorporate a lot of these things that just don't work in it, and so it's just one of those things that I think didn't work. And I know it sounds kind of trivial, like, oh well, it's just some gamer picks or whatever in a background, but again, the other companies aren't really offering anything for free, so it's cool to see that hey, we're going to be able to get some of this stuff that's kind of happening. And again, it's just nice that this is kind of happening the way that it is. And listen, Microsoft are kind of smart with this stuff. Like I don't see a bunch of people talking about this game anymore right now or anything like that, but it is interesting to see that some people are back into playing it or whatever, at the end of the day. And like I said, I don't think I don't think Gears is going to be that big game anymore. And maybe Gears of War will, the next one or whatever it is, will kind of change things or whatever the case may be. But I just honestly, I don't see, I don't really see that happening. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. I mean, you look at, for instance, like on PC, Gears of War Reloaded has an all-time peak of 4,800 people. Not that that's like the main group for this people, but it's like when you look at it, even Gears 5, the top, most, that was a brand new one, was only 10,000, which isn't a lot. So it's kind of interesting to see that the game just isn't what it used to be, I guess. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this kind of works out in the future. But like I said, it's interesting. It's some free stuff. If you're Gears fans, pick it up. It's not going to hurt. Let me know what you guys think. I certainly appreciate it. Rack them up, fact them up, Crap Gamer him up. And if you guys are into the Gears stuff, let me know. Like I said, I initially really enjoyed the games. I think they're great, but do you guys feel like I do that the games haven't aged that well in terms of how they handle and the gameplay and stuff like that? So I think that's the big issue, is someone that's really into Fortnite and the fluidity of that, or Apex, or even Call of Duty, they're not going to like Gears of War, unfortunately. So let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.